Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, June 20th, 2022, at a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call this Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Most of us, if not all of us, at one time or another, worry. Nothing matters so much that we should throw ourselves into a state of panic about it. No happening is so important that we should let ourselves be exiled from inner peace and mental calm for its sake, Paul Brun. If you want to know one of the deepest truths to meditate upon, try this one. There is nothing to worry about. Let yourself really feel this message. Let it sink deeply into your body and inside your heart. There truly is nothing to worry about because you are always being provided for and taken close care of by the God Source. You can trust that. There is a divine power running the bigger show behind the scenes. It is always there, making sure everything that is needed to manifest will manifest, so that you become a fully self-realized, enlightened being. There is no need to worry, as everything that is unnecessary in your life will not happen. The events, people, and situations in your future and all are all on the divine schedule. Your job is to relax, be grateful, and enjoy the journey as much as you possibly can to the very end. Whenever we worry, we are not trusting in life, ourselves, or God. We stop believing that there is a highly intelligent, all-loving conscious force that is here now, leading us deeper into our very being and higher into our greatest ecstasy. Worrying is a symptom that your mind has taken control over you, and you start to believe you are a small, limited being with limited insight, direction, and power. Worrying is a repression of understanding that at the core you are an unlimited soul with infinite power who is intimately connected to an all-encompassing God Source. When you honor this connection, you'll find that a day without worry is a day of surrendering to the divine. No matter how many times you're told not to worry, your mind is still going to return to its habit and try. You cannot permanently stop this old pattern with pure force and willpower. The only thing you can do is transcend the mind entirely by realizing the truth of who and what you really are. When you see how amazingly powerful you actually are, the mind becomes a bit embarrassed of its worrying habit and gives up. By looking deeper inside to your essential nature, you'll find that you are the God Source in essence, and you are not these limiting ideas about it all. You'll find you are the all-pervasive being who is the divine witnesser watching the entire show. Living as this witnessing awareness means you're no longer believing the illusions the mind is creating are real. You realize that that piece of rope you thought was a snake is just a rope. You are not afraid to pick it up and play with it. And yet, you also have the choice to step over it and ignore it. The thoughts flying through your mind are only indicators of what life experience you're having and have nothing to do with who and what you truly are. Seeing this deeper truth is how you'll transcend the mind completely. The more time you spend seeing what is beyond thought and behind the mind, there will come a day where you are truly free from the mind and the suffering habits it was addicted to. It's unbelievable how much you don't know about the game you've been playing your whole life. Mickey Mantle. It's unbelievable how much you don't know about the game you've been playing your whole life. When you choose to allow yourself to continuously explore this God source at your core, you'll find that worry leaves your life completely. It's as if worry was the last tiny snowflake sitting on the hot pavement in spring. It doesn't stand a chance to exist in the presence of the divine. Yet to arrive at this place takes vigilance. You will need to become highly aware of the dream you're dreaming, why you're dreaming this particular dream, and who is the dreamer who is inventing this dream you're imagining all day long. You'll need to relax, sit back from the mind, and live your life as the one who is awake and has realized the dream is not real. When you make this understanding more important than anything else in your life, you'll discover the most amazing joy, bliss, and freedom you could have ever imagined. To liberate your life from worry forever, you'll need to use every feeling and emotion inside you to burn through the dreaming pattern. You'll need to use every obstacle, problem, and crisis happening in your life as fuel to awaken from the dream. It doesn't mean that the mind will ever stop dreaming. You just won't be wrapped up in it. That is why painful feelings are a part of life. They wake you and shake you up so that you eventually step back from the dream. Nobody wakes up when life is emotionally comfortable and cozy. They merely fall into a deeper sleep. When you realize how you can use the mind, you are no longer used by it. When you realize how you can use the mind, you are no longer used by it. Every wonderful and horrible feeling becomes the rocket fuel needed to propel you beyond your deeply embedded patterns. Eventually, you will stop believing in the mind's illusions. However, the only way out of the mind is to go through it. The reward you'll get is a permanent state of gratitude, feeling love, at peace, and completely free. Transcend the mind and transcending the mind is the greatest liberation you can experience, and is the main reason why you signed up for this lifetime, so to speak. This week, try this. Write down all your worries. Make a list. Check it twice. Make sure you've got everything you can possibly think of on there. Now take the top number one worry on that list that continues to bother you more than any other worry. Find the one that is stronger than all the others. And give yourself permission to truly sit with it, be with it, as if it were a long-lost old friend that you've not visited with in many years. Talk to your worry as if it were a real entity and ask it what it needs. What does it need to experience to let go? Be happy and trust life again. Listen very closely, as it may whisper to you in a very quiet voice that its real needs are wants are, and once you find out what it really is, everything in your power to meet that need this week. Find out what it takes to get that need met on some level where it and you can relax. After you have found out how to connect and meet this worry needs, then move on down the list until your worries have come to peace within themselves. So we all, we all worry, and we all have that habit of worrying. And as you ever notice it, you have one worry come in and then it's absolved, or it passes on by, and another one replaces it right behind it. And it is because of the ego mind creating these and and then you think they go away and they come back. So it really is not with worries, fears, and everything. You kind of sit on the couch or the chair. You sit somewhere or on the floor. You got a circle of them all around, and you're basically sitting down with all your worries and asking them, what their needs are. What is this worry? What's it for? Why am I worried? Why is it constantly causing me to worry? So we face them, and I guarantee you, they'll vaporize. We get so wrapped up in this material world that we think everything is real. And in reality, it's an illusion. And we live the illusions, all of us do, as if they are real. And then we start to find out that they're created by the mind, the ego mind. They're literally created by the ego mind. So we find out what their needs are, what their situations are, and then we release them. Now, most of us will just kind of go, it'll go away. I'm not going to even give it any energy or time. But in reality, in order for that to basically be no more, we got to sit down with it. We got to go over what the issue is, why is there the worry. And then the mind begins to realize that it doesn't need to worry. That we are this divine power within these bodies. What is really there to worry about? Worry about, it's interesting because we fear and worry. We worry about wealth, worry about poverty, worry about health, worry about wellness, worry about happiness, worry about sadness. I mean, if you think about it, and this is what we do. It's no different than fearing those things. And all of this is conjured up by the ego mind. Now, some people it works for when they look at it and they say, okay, so what's the worst case scenario? And they look at that scenario with whatever it is. And they confront it. They present it. It's presented to them. And it's not ignored. And it fades away. So you may find yourself doing this quite a bit in the beginning, but then it becomes automatic where you'll just kick in. Okay, well let's look at this worry and find out why I'm worried, why there's a worry here. Why the ego mind has conjured this worry up. Worried about living, worried about dying. And these are all illusions. Why would we worry? Why would we worry? Well, we worry because we don't know who and what we are within these bodies. Once we find out who and what we are within these bodies, there's no such thing as worry. There's no such thing as fear. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies that we're in. Because we're not the body, we're not the character, we're not the personality, we're not the name, we're not our status in this life. We are the God within this body. We always have been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. So you relax the body through the breath. And the breath is magical. Because the God, the soul, God source comes into the body. And in a way it powers the body up. And so the breath begins. And the breath does so many different things for the health of the body. It's just endless. So as we focus on the breath, the body then begins to let go. Because the bodies that we're in store everything. the tension, the stress, the fear, the worry, the anxiety in different parts of the body, biologically. And eventually, as time goes by, there's a part that'll break down biologically in the body because it can't handle the stress, can't handle the worry, the fear, or whatever it is that is absorbed, that we store with the body. I don't think we know it consciously. Oh, I'm going to put this stress here, or I'm going to put this worry here. It just absorbs it. So when we go into the now through our breath, easy and slowly in through the nose, and easy and slowly out through the mouth, we move into the now. And funny things happen when you're in the now. The mind chatter that we all have, 24/7, it's not there. Worries, stresses, fears, anxieties are not there. We put out 60,000 or more thoughts every day, all the time, each of us. And it doesn't mean that we necessarily know every single thought that we send out to the universe. That's why we have these little surprises in our lives that show up and we go, where'd that come from? We also have tens of millions and billions of thoughts that fly by like clouds in the sky. But in reality, they're not thoughts, they're programs. And 99.999% of them are not our thoughts. So in the now, when you start to realize how powerful the now is, it eliminates all that. It's not there. You're not engaged with it, just like you're not engaged with the ego mind or the subconscious mind. They don't exist in the now. And you practice on being in the heart mind, which is the center of the chest. And you'll know when you're there, because you'll drop down into it. You'll feel the difference between the head and the heart. And see, we remember, once we know how all of this functions in this body, once we figure it out, choose to figure it out, and we know the mind and the ego is an illusion. But it oversees us right now. Because we haven't figured it out, it's illusion. No, it can't be an illusion, it's real. It's like the subconscious mind. It records everything. You enter that baby body, and from that point forward, it records everything of the other people, all around you. Events, situations, it records them, stores them. It's the great hall that we all have. And not only that, it records all of the past lives. And so you have this great hall and all of this resource information. And not only that, it plays it back. It plays it back. Some people call it deja vu. But it plays it back, and all of a sudden you feel like you've been in a place before. I did this before. I know I did this before. And you did. Okay? And the subconscious mind plays it back. So in a way, you kind of, not directly, but you kind of have the feeling that you relive it. The short version. So it is so imperative that we practice being in the now. At the same time, being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with oneself, with yourself, at all times. Not coming down hard on yourself, ridiculing yourself, feeling less. And also, being in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude, love, and peace, and gratefulness, staying in gratefulness. No matter what comes your way, staying in gratitude through the heart mind, not the head, not the ego. Shifting the energy all the time. When we keep ourselves, as much as we can, in higher vibrational frequency, this lower weighted type of frequency that we generate for ourselves has a very difficult time taking center stage. It just has, it's got a tough time. And the more we practice being in that higher vibrational frequency, they don't have a chance of embedding themselves with you. And it's not like you're oblivious to anything. It just means that you've chosen not to be in it. It's the difference being in it and outside of it. When you look at the material physical world, well, I'm in it, but actually I'm outside of it. So I don't engage the ego mind, nor the subconscious mind. I don't engage them. I watch them. I don't judge them. I watch them because they're teachers, and they teach me how to manage them. And eventually you'll have thoughts that come, and the thoughts will come in, and they're not your thoughts, they come in, though. And you have a choice. Do I lower my frequency to meet that lower frequency? Or do I stay on higher frequency? It's a choice for all of us. It's being able to say, wait a minute here, wait a minute. I got to look what I'm getting ready to do here. And this is a constant throughout existence. How you treat others and what you do towards others is going to come back to you. It always has. And people find this out that don't believe that. They find it out. That whatever they do through vindictiveness, dishonesty, manipulation, revenge, hatefulness, it comes back to them much stronger. Now, it may not come back to them in certain ways, but eventually what goes around comes around. And see, if people really knew that, and see, a lot of people don't believe that. They say, well, that's just a bunch of hogwash. But it isn't, because you talk to the people who have experienced that. What they put out to others is what they get back. And that is a fact, because the God within those is connected to the God within you. It's how you treat people. And when one is completely controlled by the ego mind, their journey will be filled with all kinds of challenges. Depressions, physical illnesses, all kinds of things. Now, they don't correlate that with anything. It's just the way life is. But when you wish harm on another, or you wish bad things, uproot their lives, cause them irritation and stress, you're doing it to yourself. Now, being heavily gripped in the ego mind, you may not know that, but eventually it will come back to you. It always does. And when you talk with people who have experienced this numerous times, they finally got it. They finally figured it out. Do no harm to others, emotional or physical. Do no harm. Now, you picture yourself, let's just look at that we're all standing on one path, and the one path is the now. Because the now stills the ego mind, it stills the subconscious mind. It puts us into the journey within. No fears, no worries, no stresses, no anxieties. Bliss, happiness, and joy. Which one would you pick? I would think bliss, happiness, and joy by going within the now. Going into the now through the breath. So we look at these three paths. And we have one on the left, which is yesterday, one on the right, which is tomorrow, one in the center, which is the now. Now, they're pretty much alike. We see the trees that form golden canopy over the tops, the branches, leaves, the bark, and then we see the paths themselves as brilliant emerald green flaming grass. Appears to be grass. Now, there is a difference that we know. The path on the left, yesterday, the past, is very worn. It's been used a lot. Same with the one on the right, tomorrow, the future. It's been used a lot. But the now, the one we're standing in front of, looks almost brand new. The reason that is because the ego mind does not want you to be in the now, because it doesn't exist in the now. And it knows that you will eventually figure it out. And it will no longer be master over you. You will be master over it. Can you see the motivation that the ego mind has? Now, we all reminisce and we go in the past. It's fun. We kind of use our great hall, our subconscious mind, as kind of a resource because we reflect. And we'll look at times that we enjoyed in the past and in nostalgia, and we reminisce and enjoy them. And we also look at the times that we tried certain things that didn't work. And it gives us a reference, kind of a guide to say, well, I'm going to try something different to see if it'll work. So it's not negative to go visit on occasion. And we have fun. So we'll go in to the room, our great hall, right? We open the door and we turn on the light. And when you walk into a room, you may not be consciously aware, but your eyes, you'll look at the ceiling and the walls real quickly. Well, when you do this in your great hall, it is so massive that you don't see any walls. And you don't see any ceilings. But you see a lot of information. Endless aisles with no end. So you'll go and take some books and pictures and movies, and you'll go sit in an easy chair. In front of you is like this white, looks like a square rectangle, and it's just floating. And so you'll watch some of the movies, and you'll look at some of the books, read some of the books, and you'll look at some of the pictures, and you have a good time, and reflect, and remember. But you won't stay there. You'll take everything, put it in its proper place, turn off the lights, shut the door, and move forward in life. And on occasion, revisit. But some of us unconsciously will stay there so long that we'll end up taking that past, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, relive that past and that future. This is why a lot of people will say no matter what they do, they always seem to end up here. Now, we all are chided into the future. Path on the right, tomorrow. And the ego mind pushes us, pokes us, gets us anxious and hurried at times. And so we will go into the future to seek out information from external authority to tell us about our future. We want to know when things are going to happen. We want to know when we're going to be healthy enough to enjoy our lives. We want to know when we're going to have enough money to enjoy our lives. We want to know when we're going to meet our lifelong romantic partner. There's a lot of things that we want to know. See, and the ego mind, see, you're not in the now when that happens. I'm sure that everyone knows that. You're not in the now. You have been dragged into the future by the ego mind. So you'll go and you'll listen to astrologers, tarot card readers, tea leaf readers, palm readers, pendulum readers, psychics, clairvoyants. And you'll ask them, Where are you going to be? When are you going to have enough money? You'll ask them these questions, and they'll come up with answers. Now, some of us will, it just depends. Some of us will just kind of go, okay. Others will look at it and say, that's wonderful, that's fantastic. And they'll intend it with that information. And they'll send it to the universe, and they'll leave it alone. That's it. They're not concerned of when. They're not concerned how. They have no attachments to the outcome, and they have no expectations. So they just let it float. They have total trust in themselves and the universe. Then there's the other ones that will respond by saying, wow, this is great. They'll mark the date on the calendar. They'll count the days. They'll build expectations and attachments to the outcome of whatever the event is or whatever the occurrence is that they were told about. Which ones do you think actually will manifest it? Well, the one that's fixated on it, it won't happen. The one that went, maybe, maybe not. And the one that just intended it, sent it to the universe with total trust, it will happen for. Because they're attached, they have no concern about it happening because they know it will, and the universe is in charge of that. Now, we all have parts of ourselves that are just gods that we are in these bodies that are stone cold asleep. We have other parts of ourselves that are awake to a certain extent, consciously aware, which means that we know through the heart mind that we know we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Do we love the parts of the gods that we are that are asleep less? No. Same as the parts of ourselves, the gods that we are that are awake. And none of us, and we're not talking about the body, we're talking about the gods within the body, the God source. None of us are separate. We're one. The body gives us the illusion of separation. And so we're all off experiencing different ways, different shapes and forms of life to experience. That's what this is all about, to experience. So it's like when we talk about the off-worlders, celestials, galactics, the Pleiadians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Sirians, Felines, Areticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. In those bodies is the God source. In our bodies are the God source. There's no separation. That's the illusion with all of us. Okay? The body gives us the illusion of being separate. The inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, regards and beneath earth. Same thing. Are we separate? No. Now the ego mind gets in the way with many civilizations. They believe they're separate. They're different than you because of the body they inhabit. Isn't that crazy? It's an experience. So different than our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes we've inhabited. That ascension is the God leaving the physical form that it is experienced. That's it. Part of us. We're part of them. The gods that we are. Fairies, sprites, elves, gnomes, dwarves, trees, trolls, elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, centaur, the minotaur, many, many, many more. Same. There's a God source within their physical form experiencing that physical form. Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Medantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the bodies they've inhabited, that's why we say we are Buddhas. We are Maitreya. all the bodies they've inhabited, physical forms, to do what? Experience. It's like all the light energy beings in this planet, on and above, below it, like the ones we don't see in the different light spectrum, but they're there. They inhabit, the God Source inhabits that physical form to experience it. It's that way with everything. And we focus on this planet. How many gods focus on this planet? The God Source, which we are. And we decide that it is time to transform this planet into a God planet paradise. So that increases vibrational frequency. It's a proven fact that that's happening. And so the vibrational frequency keeps ascending, keeps increasing in a higher frequency, more sustained, less erratic. And so the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, the demons, all of it, the pure evil, the souls that have been invaded by too much dark, vaporize, cannot stay in that frequency. And they can't run from it because it's everywhere. So here we are in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. We're all God. And we're all love. And our God Force Love Light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Continues to grow, intensify, and expand. Now we immediately form a massive, brilliant white fire circle of light. And it's around the equator of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya. This white fire light emanates from the God Source within each and every single one of us, the gods that we are. Pure, deep, eternal love. The highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. And it's flooding, saturating, and permeating this planet, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, on it, in it, above and below it, infinity and beyond. We begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. To describe this ocean of glitter, because it's nothing like that you would depict on this planet. So, of what we've experienced in this planet, a grand finale fireworks display, laser light show display, and the ballroom globe, the mirrored, faceted ballroom globe that you shine light on, and it floods the room. We combine all those, intensify them at least 1 trillion times, and we create one massive crescendo and one beautiful burst of light, sparkling colors, flash, and a great expanse, brings us to a near understanding of the ocean of glitter and what it is. We look at the reflective points, which are everywhere. And as we look, we see these little tiny microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched. We enter them, and we discover that all of us, everywhere, forever beyond and forever, are teaching each other, learning from each other. That's why we have the illusion of the body, and every one of us are experiencing different things in different ways. So we learn things that other parts of us don't, so we learn from those who are, and vice versa. It's absolutely magnificent that you could, as you were a kid, you remember, didn't you just like it was like normal? I want to be a horse, right? Or I want to be that truck, or I want to be that tree. What's it like to be a tree? What's it like to be grass? And we did that. A lot of us did. And we can still do that. And we can look at something in a meditative state, focused on your breath, being in the now. And you look at something and say, I wonder what it's be like. I wonder what it would be like to know to be that. And for a very brief period of time, you'll know exactly what it is to be that, whatever it may be. You ever had a butterfly cross just kind of fly around you? Every single life force that gives all creatures life is the God source. So what's the butterfly? What's the God in the butterfly doing? It's showing you to lighten up, relax. You're here to enjoy life, not to fight it. See how free I am. You're that free too. You just don't know it yet. Or a dragonfly flies in front of you, right? It's right there. It looks right at you. It's hovering. Some people just bat it away. All these things that show up, most of us just don't notice them. We're too caught up in the material physical world and not the journey within, so we just miss them. Others notice them. You can sit in nature and be entertained for hours. I mean, that's a given. But most of us are being controlled by the ego mind, and we're in a hurry. We're in a hurry. Got to get done. Got to get this done. Got to get that done. Worried about this, stressing about that. Worried about this. Worried about that. Now we have fail-safes. Let's put it that way. The gods that we are. We create certain things to maneuver, to navigate this life. And we're immediately met by the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. Raphael's carrying a light, firelight of green, emerald green. It's a healing light. And the gods that we are created this to remind us all that we are the power of healing these bodies. Then we have Archangel Michael. He's carrying violet, blue, purple, flaming light. And this reminds all of us, the gods that we are, of the omnipotent power, strength, and resolve that we are. Then we're met with the white firelight. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that the bodies we're in are protected. And this white firelight emanates from where? The gods that we are in the body. Pure, deep, eternal love. So in case of these, as long as we maintain the vibrational frequency high, we don't have demon possession attachment, lower dark matter, slow matter frequencies. We don't have any of that. They can't sustain their form around such a high frequency. They'll either vaporize or leave. So we're always protected. Infinity and beyond. Yet, only you have the power. That if you decide, consciously or unconsciously, to lower your vibrational frequency low enough through hatred, anger, greed, revenge, envy, hurriedness, dishonesty, manipulation, worry, stress, fear, you will create a breach in your white fire armor allowing all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then there's all kinds of possibilities. Possession, attachments. Now, you do decide to do this. We create these columns of light, the gods that we are. And the first one is a double column of light. First part of that column of light is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column of lights to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. Second part of this column of light is the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. And we can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony, the highest of the highest high and the deepest of the deepest deepest and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light, the gods that we are created to remind us all that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbow. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We're the clouds in the sky, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests, the soils, the animals. We're everything. Everything is us. So when you're in the ego mind, you're with the head, right? So when you see these, like a sunset, a sunrise, oceanfront, mountain view, whatever it may be, you say, that's beautiful. Isn't that spectacular? And it is, because it's the God within each and every one of us. Now, through the heart mind and the journey within, you discover that is the God that I am. It becomes automatic. And it's not ego mind, it's heart mind. So that's the God that I am. This planet is filled with the God source. It doesn't take really much to know that. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us who are carrying physical form decide to step outside of it and hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do this is because we can, and it's a lot of fun. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. The gods within these bodies created this tower, larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we discover this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere, this humongous golden white ball of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This creates a massive, super bright white, misty cloud, sparkling, reflecting. And it's absorbed into our heart minds. And it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. We discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, at the top of this column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 24/7, infinity and beyond, saturating, flooding, and permeating this planet and all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, with this pure, deep, eternal love. What is the golden ocean? The golden ocean is pure, deep, eternal love. We are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. We, the gods in these bodies, created this sphere over 4 years ago. And it contains and is building towards 1,900 meditations in perpetual motion. These meditations continue to expand, grow, and intensify, and they're flooding, saturating, and permeating this planet. Think about that. The power of pure, deep, eternal love flooding this planet, infinity and beyond, nonstop. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow, expand, and intensify. Can you see where there is any way that any lower dark matter, spiral matter frequency, any pure evil can escape? No. You can plug into what is actually taking place on this planet by focusing on your breath, being in the now, and you'll see through the heart-mind that everywhere on this planet, you can see this goop, this black of the blackest black that you've ever seen, and it's evaporating from the planet. And the gods that we are, we created this field on this planet, and it's a golden white pink field that shimmers, that you can see through it, but you can see the colors. And this goop is being vacuumed off the planet, and as it hits the field, it starts to disintegrate. Little flashes. And we create this sky dome, this golden white pink, brilliant light. And if any of them make it to that extent, to that sky dome, they're gone in one flash, all of them. And that's what's happening on this planet. And the field is pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. There's no escape. You can watch this as long as you want. You feel the love that you are, that we all are, the gods that we are in these bodies, permeating everything. Today, speak what cannot be spoken. Listen to what you cannot hear. Sit with the feelings you cannot bear to feel, and see what your eyes are unwilling to watch. Simply practice being with what you are resisting, and notice the strategies you have to try to control and manipulate your experience of this life. Notice what you demand from yourself, life, and others, and explore how you can face all your demons inside today. This is your day to become a spiritual warrior and enjoy the experience of transcending all these illusionary thoughts, feelings, and experiences that you cannot be present to. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out the mouth. Be still. Repeat the mantra during the course of your day. I am, with your breath throughout the day. On your exhale, say mentally the word I, and release any ideas you have about who and what you are. On your inhale, say the words mentally am. On your inhale, say the words mentally am. On your exhale, say the word I. And feel the sense of presence inside. Do not try to control the mantra. Let the mantra guide you deeper inside. You can do this when you're driving, showering, eating lunch, standing in line at the market, or even just watching TV. Keep on watching your breath as you say these words, and notice how your experience changes throughout the day. Take this with you for the rest of the day, evening, night, and the following morning. And we'll return here Tuesday, June 21, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation home.